Hi everyone, this is Sunette, and in this video we are continuing with our process of having a look at self-honesty. But to have a look at self-honesty, we also within this have to look at honesty. And my personal process and experience within these two words. And I would like to take this video to define self-honesty. Self-honesty, even if you speak it, it sounds like something so good. Self-honesty, I'm being self-honest. Like even when you say it, even if you can take this video, in this moment, just pause it and just say self-honesty. It feels like it's like this rising energy or experience that comes up within you. And so you will naturally kind of assume that, self-honesty is a good thing, positive thing. But here, let's have a look at the practicality of self-honesty. What is the process of self-honesty really? Because that is completely different to the experience that you may be getting when you speak the word or write the word or look at the word. And it's also actually quite a beautiful example of the difference between feeling something and actually doing something. So, self-honesty. Self-honesty is having the ability to look at what is going on in your mind as is. Really being able to look in front of the mirror and essentially imagine that you could, in that mirror, see your mind as is, all your thoughts, your secrets, your inner dialogues, your movements, your projections, fantasies, imaginations, everything in that mirror. You had access to seeing it all. And not only that, but being able to take responsibility for it in a way where you do admit, acknowledge, and recognize that that does exist in me. Yes, that did come up in me. Yes, I did think that, I did participate in that, I did feel this, and I did go here in my mind, and I went there. But now, with being able to see myself as my mind directly in the mirror as is, who am I within what I am seeing? What am I going to do with it or do about it? How does it affect me? How does it change me? Does it support me? Does it compromise me? Does it assist and support in creating who I am as a person? My relationships with others? My future in this life? What does what I see in that mirror as my mind do for me? Or what do I do for it? So that's also a nice little question that I liked playing with in my process, is that I oftentimes found that question of what is it doing for me and what am I doing for it, kind of woke me up immediately, because there are sometimes, more thought patterns, inner dialogues and reactions and things that I would participate in that would do nothing for me, but actually create more compromise and consequence and sabotage in some way or another. And that I was more doing something for it in the sense of, the more that I would participate in it and act it out and become it, it was like I was becoming a servant of it in a way. And, I, within my life and my process through my mind, essentially made a decision to, when and as I can, and this is also very specific, I I initially started my process with, I am always, every single time, going to absolutely, completely stand up against my mind and not ever let my mind define me or control me. Yes, and that was me kind of very innocent in my process, in the sense of not yet completely understanding the extent to which our minds actually exist. So I changed all of that more egotistical absoluteness to practicality, which was when and as I see and when I am able to my utmost potential, I will assist and support myself to not accept and allow my patterns, my thoughts, my emotions, my inner dialogue, and my experiences to define and control me. I would like to create who I am as a person. So self-honesty for me, it is, look, and this is also kind of a bit of a consequence of, just being honest. It doesn't help just being honest, or it doesn't help just being self-honest. Like, for example, having a look at the previous video that we did. I mean, if I was just self-honest about, okay, I am not happy, and content and comfortable in this relationship, and I just accepted that, then I would not have realized that unhappiness and, comfortability and being content had actually nothing to do with the relationship at all. There was actually problems and issues inside myself that I was deeply suppressing, that I was projecting onto the relationship. And I would not have realized that if I'd only accepted that self-honesty. So everyone has to always remember as well that self-honesty comes with responsibility, the ability to respond to your self-honesty, to what you see, to what you open up, to what is here, all right? So, because kind of, this is also another more of like a manipulative, emotional, spiteful tactic that I have seen so many people use, where they almost deliberately go, well, I was self-honest with myself, and, using self-honesty against other people and even against themselves, like, well, I was self-honest with myself, so therefore, I am more, or I am better, or this is it, and this is the answer, and, I'm not happy in this relationship, or I'm not comfortable, and so therefore this relationship is going to end, kind of, no, that's not self-honesty. Self-honesty goes much deeper and much further, right? So using again the example in the beginning of this video, it's again like you're standing in front of the mirror, seeing your mind in front of you, and you're writing it down, for example. That writing it down is that process of self-honesty. You're willing to acknowledge and recognize and admit and take responsibility for what's coming up inside yourself. But then with writing it out, with seeing it in the mirror, it's never enough to just see something or acknowledge it or recognize it. You've got to be able to take the step to change it, to do something about it. And if we mostly have a look at the human condition in humanity and human civilization, we're good at seeing things. We're good at looking, When it comes to doing and actually changing, doing something about things, changing things, when it comes to ourselves or people or the world, that is non-existent, okay? So we might as well start developing that skill, that ability and that talent within ourselves to not only just be able to see and be able to look. We know we can do that. But to be able to do something about what we see and what we look at to, in fact, change. All right, so we'll go to here for this video. I would like to, in the next video, continue with what it means to not only see and look with self-honesty, but what it means to actually live self-honesty, in how self-honesty can become a stepping stone in your process of real change. All right, thank you very much.